Hi friends, welcome to my English lessons. In this video, we are going to look at the different parts of a sentence. As you can see on the board, every sentence has got its two main parts, subject and predicate. And this predicate is again divided into verb, object and complement. Now we are going to see what each of them is in detail and then how to identify them in a sentence. Well, at first, with the basic division. I told you every sentence is basically divided into subject and predicate. Now let's see what is subject. Subject is the focal point of the sentence. Focal point means the person or the thing about whom or what we are talking in the sentence. And it comes first. Usually the position of the subject in a sentence is at the beginning of the sentence. Now over to predicate. What is predicate? Predicate is what is said about the subject. And its position is after the subject. Now, if you look at the board, I have written a word verb here. Now, why did I write that? This is the midpoint. Now, if you want to identify the subject and predicate of a sentence, you need to find out the verb. Now, let's find out the subject and predicate of the sentences we have written here. The first sentence I have written on the board is James loves books. And in this sentence, where is the verb? The verb is here, loves. And I'm going to put a line here before the verb. And whatever comes after the verb is part of the predicate. And whatever obviously comes before the verb is the subject. So this is yes and this is P. Loves books, James. Now let's look at the second example. A beautiful bird is singing. Now, as I told you, we have to look for the verb in the sentence. Here, the verb lies here. Is singing is the verb. And we need to put a mark here. Whatever comes before the verb is the subject. A beautiful bird. This is the subject. Is singing is the predicate. Now over to the further division of the second part of the sentence, the predicate. A predicate is divided into verb, object and complement. And as you can see, each of them is again divided into two. Verb is divided into transitive verb and intransitive verb. Object is divided into direct object and indirect object. And the complement is divided into subject complement and object complement. Now let's get into the detail. Here we'll start with the first part of the predicate, which is verb. All of us know what's verb. Verbs are in other words called as action words. For example, singing, jumping, dancing, running, reading, writing, everything. Every one of the action that we do is considered to be verbs. And these verbs are divided into two, transitive verbs and intransitive verbs. And what's the difference between transitive verb and intransitive verb? To understand it better, let's look at the meaning of what is transport. We all are very familiar with this word. I can say that I traveled from Kottakkal to Calicut and I traveled from Kottakkal to Tirur. So, transitive means something that passes to another. And intransitive means a thing which doesn't pass to another. So, in simple words, we can call transitive verbs as verbs or actions that pass from subject to the object. And intransitive verbs are those actions which do not pass to the object. Let's look at the examples. John kicked a ball. Here you see the verb is kicked, and John is doing this action. And this action of John is passing to someone else. Is a ball, right? So this verb is called as a transitive verb. Now let's look at the second example. John is sitting. Now this action of John is sitting, is this action passing to someone else? No, obviously not. There is nothing coming here. Alright, therefore this is intransitive verb. And let's look at the third example. I killed a mosquito. Right, now the action is done by me, and is this action passing to someone else? Of course, you see this action is passing to a mosquito. So now this action or this verb passes to someone else. So it is a transitive verb. And the last one, I am sleeping. Now, is this action of sleeping passing to someone else? No. Not obviously, you don't see anyone here, and sleeping of me can never pass to someone else. So this action or this verb is intransitive verb. So to sum up, we can say that transitive verbs are actions that pass to the object, and intransitive verbs are actions which do not have an object or which do not pass to an object. Now we are over to the second part of the predicate, which is the object. What's the object? Object is the person or the thing to whom or what the action is passing. If you listen to the previous point of verbs, I told you what are transitive verbs. Transitive verbs are those actions which pass from the subject to another thing or person. And this another thing or person is what we call as the object. Now, to make the picture clearer, let's look at the example. I hit my brother. Now, the person who is doing the action is I, and the action is hit, and this action is passing to someone else out there. So now my brother is object. Let's look at the second example. He threw a book. Now the person who is doing the action or the subject is he, the action is threw, and what did he throw? A book. And this thing is the object in this sentence. So object of a sentence is the person or the thing to whom the action is passing. There are two kinds of objects in sentence. They are direct object and indirect object. Now, how do we find out whether what we have in the sentence is a direct object or indirect object? Now, it's quite simple. I have written it on the board. There is a present verb up in the center, and there are two questions. If you ask the question what to the verb, and if you have an answer in the sentence, that answer will be the direct object. And if you ask the question whom to the verb, and you have an answer in the sentence, then that will be the indirect object. Let's get it clearly by looking at the example. She gave him a pen. Now, in this sentence, the verb is gave. So, I'm going to ask the first question. What did she give? And do we have an answer? She did not give him. She gave a pen. Yes. So now this pen is the thing she gave. This will be the direct object. Now, second question. Whom did she give? We know the answer. She gave him, and him is the indirect object. Let's look at the second example. I am giving you a piece of advice. Let's do the same process again. Let's find out the verb. The verb here is giving. And let's ask the same question. What am I giving? I'm giving a piece of advice. So now this is the direct object, And to whom am I giving the piece of advice? I am giving you. So this is the indirect object. Thus, we are moving to the last part of the predicate, the complement. What's a complement? Complement is a word or phrase which is required to complete the meaning of a sentence. And if you see, there are two kinds of complements, subject complement and object complement. It simply means subject complement is a word or phrase which completes the meaning of the subject, and object complement is the phrase or the word which completes the meaning of the object. It will be clear when we look at the example. Look at the first example. The baby is cute. Now, this word which comes after the verb is cute. Now, is it the object of the sentence? No, because cute is not another thing to whom the action is passing. It is just the quality of the baby. Without this word, if you said a sentence like the baby is, the sentence is incomplete. So you need a word to complete that sentence. So you added the word cute and it completes the meaning of the sentence, and this word is qualifying the subject of the sentence. Therefore, this is a subject complement. Let's look at the second example. I find him intelligent. Now we have the subject, verb, and object. And now there's one more word, intelligent. And what is this? Why have we used this sentence or this word in this sentence? This is an adjective, so it must be a quality of someone here. Let's look at the sentence. Is it the quality of I? No. I find him intelligent. So this is the quality of him, and him is the object. Since him is the object and this is the quality of the object, this is object complement. Look at the third example. She seemed upset. Now the word which comes after the verb is upset. Now, why have we used this word in this sentence? It is to speak about the quality of the subject. Therefore, this is subject complement. And now the last one. We painted the house red. Now, we is the subject, painted is the verb, the house. What did we paint? This is the object. Now there's one more word, red. And whom or what does this word qualify? Is it we or the house? We know we can't be red. It is the house. So house is the object. Therefore, this is object complement. Thus, we can understand that a complement is divided into two, subject complement and object complement. The word or phrase which completes the meaning of the subject will be called a subject complement, and the word or phrase which completes the meaning of the object will be called object complement. I hope this session on the parts of a sentence was helpful to you. Let's meet again with another grammar concept.